In 1221, Genghis Khan's wrath descended upon the city of Nishapur, an event that would become one of the most infamous acts of vengeance in history. The incident was sparked by the killing of Tekuchur, Genghis Khan's son-in-law, during a siege of the city. Tekuchur had been leading a Mongol force in Nishapur when he was struck down by an arrow fired under the orders of the city's governor. This act of defiance not only violated the Mongols' strict code of respect for their envoys and emissaries but also struck a deeply personal chord with Genghis Khan. The murder of his son-in-law was an unforgivable offense, and the response would be swift and merciless. Upon learning of Tekuchur's death, Genghis Khan vowed to exact a level of retribution that would serve as a chilling example to the rest of the world. He dispatched a massive Mongol army to Nishapur, led by his favored generals, to ensure that the city paid the ultimate price for its actions. Nishapur, at the time a thriving center of culture and commerce in the region, stood no chance against the sheer military might of the Mongols. The siege was short-lived. The city's defenses crumbled quickly under the onslaught of the Mongol forces. However, the true horror began only after the city had fallen. The inhabitants of Nishapur, estimated to be in the hundreds of thousands, were systematically slaughtered. Historical records suggest that not a single person was spared, with the Mongols killing men, women, children, and even animals. The numbers reported by chroniclers vary, with some claiming the death toll reached an astonishing 1.7 million, though modern historians regard such figures as exaggerated. Regardless of the exact number, the scale of destruction was unparalleled. Every building in the city was razed to the ground, and the once thriving community was reduced to a barren wasteland. Fields were salted to prevent future cultivation, and the city's infrastructure was obliterated, ensuring that recovery would be nearly impossible. To solidify the memory of their vengeance, the Mongols collected the skulls of the slain and arranged them into massive pyramids. These grotesque monuments were not only a statement of power but also a psychological weapon. The sight of these skull pyramids served as a warning to other cities and kingdoms about the consequences of defying Genghis Khan and his army. The destruction of Nishapur became one of the many examples of the Mongols' use of terror as a deliberate strategy in their campaigns. Nishapur, once renowned as a center of learning and culture, was utterly devastated. Its libraries, markets, and places of worship were reduced to ash, and the city that had been home to poets, scholars, and artisans ceased to exist in its former glory. The loss was not only a physical one but also a cultural tragedy, as much of the region's intellectual and artistic heritage was wiped out in the massacre. This event was not merely an act of revenge but also a demonstration of Genghis Khan's approach to governance and warfare. By erasing Nishapur from the map, he sent a clear message: loyalty and submission to the Mongol Empire were non-negotiable, and any act of defiance would result in total annihilation. This ruthless strategy ensured that many cities surrendered to the Mongols without resistance in subsequent campaigns, preferring to avoid the fate of Nishapur. The legacy of the destruction of Nishapur endures as a stark reminder of the Mongols' capacity for devastation and their dominance during the medieval period. It serves as both a testament to the fearsome power of Genghis Khan and a cautionary tale about the consequences of defying such a force. Nishapur's annihilation became one of the most haunting chapters in the history of the Mongol Empire, symbolizing the extremes of vengeance and the price of resistance against one of the most formidable conquerors the world has ever known.